Apparently I'm streaming. Hopefully. Guess we'll find out. I don't know what it looks like. Let's see. To this thing. Mute this. Hi, everyone. Apparently I'm streaming. Hey, I'm streaming. It's working. Yeah. So it's live. That's good. We posted on the thingies and the peoples and the stuff. People, join in. Come say hi. Come say hi and ask me. "3D printers." What's up? We got people here now. Good evening, Sean. See, the name Sean, whenever when I was younger and I first saw it, I thought it was like Sheen, like bean. It was like Sheen. But no, apparently it's Sean because English language. Good evening, Gadget Geek. Boink. Get the people rolling on in. That's all that matters. Should probably get out of Facebook so people don't blow up my phone and everything. Oh, what is that? Number 1. Go to that. Oh, that's my face. Oh my god, I'm ugly. There. So I got chat. I get that. Everything looks good. Hi, everyone. There's 5 people watching right now. Good evening. Good evening. This is the first stream / video / whatever since I've gotten back from my little journey to Folger Tech. So that's been fun. That's where I was the past week. It was awesome. I had a good time. I recorded less video than I thought I would, but I was mainly just like kind of taking it all in, you know, like just kind of relaxing, using it as a vacation. So I had a real good time. So I can't thank John and his wife, Ida, and everyone really, you know, everyone at Folger Tech enough because it was really fun. It was a good time, you know, like it was more like me just kind of enjoying myself more than trying to make videos and all that. I do have a couple videos, but not a whole lot, not as many as I thought I would. So, hello Mark, hello Robert, how are you guys? It's Irish spelling, like Sean Connery. See, name Irish, ruining everything. Was the shop. The shop was real cool. I got video of it. I don't know how much I'm like technically able to like show of all of it. I tried to not make, you know, just like here's the office and here's keyboard, like, you know. So it was pretty cool. The place is like it's like 2 stories. Well, it's a 3-story building. There's a Mexican place underneath. And then there's like the 2nd floor, which is like offices and where they do like the final packing and stuff like that. And then the 3rd floor is like the, you know, laser cutters and like development, active development, R&D, I guess you could say. And then where they pack the sub kits and things like that. So there's like a lot of area, you know, it's like 10,000 square feet or something like that total between both floors. And it was like, there's so much stuff. I just want to like live here. You know, I didn't really build a whole lot. The last day I was there, I was working on fixing some printers that they had that were having issues. But for the most part, I wasn't really doing a whole lot. It was more so like taking it all in because I have never been in a place like that before. So it was real fun. I had a good time. So, and if you want to ask me anything about that, feel free because it was definitely real cool. Dustin, you should sell me that PGM on your wall. That's the PGM 3. Apparently that was never sold in the United States or something. Like it was an Indonesian guitar, but I don't know how it got here, but I got it at Guitar Center for a good deal. It's like the cheaper of the Paul Gilbert guitars. It's like the cheapest one, but I got a good deal on it, so I love it. It's my fun guitar. It's got a shitty trim, but I have it blocked, so it's all good. I am jelly. Yes. It was really cool. Like big ass lasers everywhere, and projects that are going on, and they are like the first Prusa 2020 ever made. The second one they're still using to like make 3D printed parts there whenever they need them. Like it's the second Prusa 2020 ever made. I have video of it. Like the original FT5, like before it was what it is now. Like it's a different size and everything. It's pretty cool. So, no offense, doesn't, but Folger Tech really needs to get a tech writer, draftsman, and a photographer. Yes, I agree. I think most people would agree. I'm pretty sure everyone at Folger Tech would agree. But a lot of the stuff, like it gets better because the community is awesome, and so a lot of people give us, things to work with and adjust, and it's really nice. So the community helps. There's not a whole lot that's like, well, Folger Tech obviously does the majority of it, but there's a lot of people who help out. Especially the guys of the Folger Tech, the Folger Forum, the Folger Tech Facebook group. Like, there's a lot of, you don't have to just use the build guide. So, he's home. Good evening. Yes, I am home. I've been home since yesterday. Oh, I got a fun story about that. So, Tuesday night, I was supposed to fly home. I took a train up to New Hampshire, or up to Boston technically, but whatever. I took a train there. I'll get into that later. But I was going to fly home. So Tuesday night, I was supposed to be at the Manchester airport like 5:30 or something like that. 5:30 in the afternoon is when we board. And I was supposed to be home by like 11. So we get there. John walks in with me to the airport, and we notice that my flight's being delayed, my first flight, because there was going to be a flight from Manchester to Philadelphia, a layover in Philadelphia for like an hour, Philadelphia to Orlando. So I was like, okay, it's delayed. It's like 20 minutes delayed, but it's not that bad. Go up to the counter. It changes again to like an hour delay, in which case I'm not going to make my connecting flight. So I'm like, this is not good. So we go and talk to the dude at the counter, and he's like, yeah, apparently there's some like bad storms or something in Philadelphia, so they're having issues and all sorts of crap like that. And it was like, oh no, this isn't good. So basically they were like, you can take your chances, go to Philadelphia, and probably end up having to spend the night and take a flight early in the morning, or you can come back tomorrow morning at like 8 o'clock and have a flight out, like the first flight out of there. And we were like, okay, that's probably a better idea. So I got to stay another night at Folger Tech, and then we woke up early in the morning Wednesday and went to the Manchester airport. Manchester to Charlotte. Had a layover in Charlotte. Like literally, I got off the plane. I had 20 minutes to get to the next gate to like get to my plane. Rush over there, get on that plane. I haven't flown in like since I was like 2. So this is essentially the first time I've flown. It was freaky, but it was awesome at the same time. So I was home by 1 o'clock, and it was awesome. So I was it was kind of crazy that like the first time I've flown, I had to deal with flights being delayed and all that. So. Everything worked out in the end. I didn't have any problems. The TSA was nice to me. They didn't question all of the random bags of electronics that are in my bags. They're like, what are these things? They didn't care. They were like, that's fine. So yeah, it was real fun. And then I was home by 1 o'clock yesterday, Wednesday, and then I like got home and just went to pretty much try to go to bed because I was real tired. So yeah, it was insane, but it was real fun. It sucks flying. Like, I haven't flown in forever, so, like, the descend especially, like, my ears are really sensitive to pressure changes, so, like, the descend killed me. I had such a bad headache while we were descending. It was terrible. So, how many people we got here right now? There's 9 people, according to YouTube. It's probably more or less. So, yeah, it sucked, but, Did it smell like pizza? Yeah, it did smell like pizza. Well, mainly because we were eating pizza, but, whatever. It smells like burning melamine, mainly. It looks small for the amount of product they pump out. Yeah, I mentioned this in the video that I did with the tour. Not including, like, me, John, or Ida, his wife. It's like 5 or 6 people that work for Folger Tech, like, that are there all the time. They have, like, 2 or 3 other people who come in, like, once or twice a week to help out with things. And then they have a few other people who like are more like contracted or whatever. But like people who are there doing things, packing kits, you know, doing emails, whatever. It's like 5 or 6 people, and then me, and then John and his wife. Like that's Folgertech. Like of the hundreds of kits they do, like a week, and all the orders, you know, they send out like 100 orders on Mondays from all the little things people buy in kits and all that. Like all the things that they do, the thousands of things a year. It's like 8 people. I don't even really count because I'm not there helping. I'm just doing emails. So like, that's insane. Like, it's ridiculous. Are you volunteering your time to do this? Already haven't turned down. Who'd you ask, Robert? It wasn't me. But then again, it's not really my choice, so, you know. Alternatively, a wiki might work well. They had a wiki, didn't they? Isn't there a wiki, like a Folgertech wiki or something? I mean, I don't know. It's probably never been. I think it's like the RepRap wiki. There's a Folgertech section or something. I don't remember. Yeah, the build manuals are pretty much community builds. Yeah, the build guide is like the hardest part of any of these printers. The printers are actually the printers are amazing, obviously, but the build guides are the hardest part. I don't mind them being hard. I like the challenge. Any new printers in the works? There are kinda. There's not anything that's like actively being developed right now, but there's ideas when it comes to printers. There's a couple other machines that are being developed right now. But that's for a later date. Hi, Marco. What's up, man? I probably just peaked my microphone. Sorry. There were some huge storms. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, oh, it was terrible. It was like raining the entire time I was up in New Hampshire too. Like I knew it was going to be colder than Florida, but the whole time I was there it was like 50 degrees and raining. It was awesome. I love that kind of weather, so it was really nice. Oh, were you able to understand the Newfie? Yeah, he was awesome. Chris, Chris, the admin of the Folgertech Facebook group, was on there, and he's awesome. He was hilarious. I didn't there were some times you're like, what the hell did you just say? Oh, ooh. I'm asking a person I work with about smart system stuff. What was I gonna say? Chris, he's awesome. He was like hilarious, and there's a few times I'm just like, what the fuck did you just say? But most of the time it was like, oh, okay, I get you. Like he was hilarious. He was funny. Like everyone was funny. John was hilarious. Ida was hilarious. Like the whole time we're just laughing, and their dog is awesome. Like it was such a good time. Like, it was just kind of laughing and chilling the whole thing. It was really nice. So I had a really good time. Sent a request on Facebook group, and John replied and didn't. Oh, okay. I guess he didn't want to. I don't know. I don't have any input on that. I don't control any of that stuff, so yeah. Should probably turn down my thing. So how y'all doing? How's everyone going? I haven't streamed in a couple weeks. I missed you guys. How's everyone? Got any questions for me? I need questions. If any of you guys are bored, like share this on the group and Twitter and stuff like that. Gotta get people in here saying hi. Hi, everyone. Also, 20 minutes. Okay, I gotta. This is gonna be me sitting here looking at my phone for a minute because no one's asking me anything. I think. Okay, yeah. Or maybe it was like, oh, I just had to scroll down. But it was a good time. I had a wonderful time at Folgertech. I probably could now. That's probably a bad idea because it's all 4K and we'll screw up everything. I was gonna say I probably could just like play a file from my memory card, but that's probably a bad idea. What the fuck's that called? Shit. Compatible with a bunch of things. Ooh, people. Hi. Hold on. I'll be right there. I'm working on upgrading my entire house to the 22nd century. uh, okay. What was he doing? Okay. Just joined the FT5 family. Woo! Yeah, that's awesome. FT5 has sold a whole bunch. I don't know exactly how many they sold, but it's like upwards of, like, they've passed 1,000, I believe. FT5 sold. Might even be like 2,000. I don't even know. I probably should have asked. I know they have the numbers, but yeah. I got back from college softball World Series in Oklahoma City. Ooh, I didn't watch it. I usually watch like the I don't follow baseball or softball at all, really, but I usually watch the Little League World Series, the college championship, whatever it's called, and then the World Series, usually the Major League World Series. But otherwise, I don't really follow baseball that much. I've been to a few games. I used to play baseball when I was younger, but How was the train trip? I've never gone cross country on a train. So, the train there. Okay, so I left from my local, Kissimmee or Kissimmee train station, right? It's not far from my house. So, it's this little tiny train station, just like a mini train station, whatever you'd expect. So I get on that. It was, what was it, Tuesday, the previous Tuesday. It was like 1 o'clock or something like that. This train trip is supposed to take 30 hours, I think, to get me to Boston. And then from Boston, I'd, be able to get to Folger Tech pretty easily. They picked me up eventually. But yeah, I got on at like 1 o'clock. We didn't get out of Florida till like 4 or something like that. 4 or 5, I don't remember. The train itself was actually really nice. Like, it was... The only thing I didn't like about it is that I kind of got like tired of it after a while. Like it just sitting there, yeah, I know I could get up and go to the whatever, the lounge car and all that. But for the most part, I just kind of sat there and watched out the window. I'm glad that I took the trip. I'm glad that I took a train. It was really nice. But I don't think I'd do it again. It's like, I don't really know. Like it was fun. I was like by myself in my seat until like we got till the night, Tuesday night. We got at Savannah, Georgia. A guy got on and sat next to me, and he was like just sat next to me the whole time. The hot dogs, I had a hot dog. It was really good, but it was like $5 for a hot dog. Otherwise, like actually the train itself was nice. It was, comfortable. I had a outlet right next to me. We were on time. We actually got, I think we were only like 5 or 6 minutes late to New York City. It wasn't bad. So I took a train from Kissimmee to New York City. And then New York, I had 3 hours in New York. And Angel, the Tinkering Corner, that you see his name in the chat, go subscribe to his channel. He's awesome. He was there and met him. Angel, you're awesome. We hung out for, 2 hours or something like that. We walked around the city. I went to Times Square and all that. I got video of all this. So then eventually I had to go back to the train, got on a train to Boston, got up to 140 miles per hour on a train. It was really cool. And got to Boston and got picked up by John. And so it was nice. I don't think I would ever ride a train again unless it's a shorter trip, because it's just kind of like, after a while it's the same thing. But it was a nice experience. You got to see a lot of like stuff, on a plane you can't see the scenery, whereas this I'm like going through hills and seeing all of that. So I thought it was real cool. I wouldn't do it again though. So oh shit, go back up. How's the train? That was good. Congrats. Hi David. Not a question, but a story. I was building the FT5 and being careful to not let the Linux lights come off. Got the whole gantry assembled and tripped my dog carrying the gantry. Now, reading that sentence, it says you tripped over your dog was carrying the gantry. You probably shouldn't have given it to him. See? Mandy's team manager for ISU. Oh, okay. That's cool. Hey, Joe, what's up? Seriously, go subscribe to his channel. Riding the train is a trip. It is a trip, literally. It was fun, but it was it's an experience. I'll give it that. I'm glad I did it. But aloha, Angel. They don't keep on schedule. Mine kept on schedule pretty well. We actually would have made it on time. We would have probably been a little bit ahead of time, but early on when we were still in Florida, there's this drawbridge. When you go, there's a river that you go by, or that you go over that leads to Lake Monroe, and there's a drawbridge that the train goes over, and the drawbridge got stuck up at some point, and so we had to sit there for like 30 minutes while they got it down. So we would have made it on time, and probably a little bit earlier than scheduled, if the stupid drawbridge didn't get stuck up. But otherwise, train is too slow. Yeah, it was slow, but we got up to 140 of that going between New York and Boston. It was pretty nice. So I was carrying the gantry over to the frame and didn't notice the dog stepped on our tail. The rest is history. I feel bad for you, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. So I'm sorry I'm laughing, but it was kind of, it's kind of funny. Ball bearings everywhere. Email support at Folger Tech and new rails arrived tomorrow. Hey, look at that. Response for customer service. Just wish I hadn't needed it. See, you messaged us. You're either going to talk to like Rachel or John or me or HG. One of us, I do my emails every day. Usually. Sometimes I don't, but every day usually. Sometimes if it's busy, I'll do it a couple times a day. But I usually am able to answer all my stuff real quick. So, why should dog carry the gantry? See, train's too slow. It's cheap. Dude, the pizza was real good. Yeah, we went to this like shithole pizza place on like whatever street it was, and there's like a bunch of gigantic pizzas. This like I want that one and I want that one. They give you a slice. It was like what, like $2 a slice or something ridiculous. It was really nice. So, placed a parts order from Voltrack and added a thank you in the order comments. Hope it got back to you. Thank you for your videos. Aww. Usually if you like put my name in it or something, they usually send it to me, or they'll let me know like, hey, someone said this. So I like that. Thank you. It was Rachel. Yeah, Rachel's awesome. I met her because of that Folger Tech. She's real nice. Everyone was there. Like everyone there I've like known through online basically, but actually meeting them in person was nice. So Rachel's nice. John and Anita's nice. Everyone's nice. Both Chris's, they were real nice. Everyone was nice. Everyone's like, it was a different like experience up there. Everyone's nice. No one hates you like they do here. Trains are delayed mostly by people trying to commit suicide. Crazy. Yeah. Wow. I guess that's right. That makes sense. That didn't happen. It's all good. What do they do to keep the candy? They have like a box of candy down where they pack it, like the final packing of the kits. There's like a box of candy there. And it was funny. They were like, sometimes we have like regular candy and then like expensive candy. And sometimes we'll throw it in with like the FT5 only. So like if you buy more expensive stuff, you get like special candies. I thought that was really funny. Can you list some cool upgrades I can do the FT5? The dual Z end stop mod. I love that mod, but that's me. I think it's nice. You don't really need anything else for the most part. What is it called? You can do like an S-base controller, 32-bit controller, or like 32 or 132 stepper drivers or something like that. But for the most part, you really don't have to. There's not a lot of mods you really need to do. You don't need to do anything. I don't know. I don't mod my printers, so it's probably a better question to ask the group or anyone in the comments. Feel free to put in, mods. Like people upgrade to like the E3D hot ends and all that kind of stuff, but for the most part, I used mine pretty much stock with the exception of the end stop mod, and I did that because I thought it was useful, you can upgrade the LCD as well. I actually have a color LCD that I'm working on. I got while I was up there, and it's pretty cool, but it's nothing like life-changing in my opinion. So, when are the FT5 videos going out? Whenever I edit them. I need to do that. Did I say FT5 or Folger Tech? God, I'm an idiot. It's always nice to be able to put a face to the people you know online. Yeah, it really is. It was really cool. Like, because a few of them I didn't know what they look like. I just like know them from like talking to them through our like Vulture Tech chat and all that. So like I was like, hey, nice to meet you. You know, it's like I've known you for months and I've never met you. So I thought it was cool. Chicagoland has great pizza. I hear Chicago's got real good pizza, but you know, I don't want to go to the Windy City. Everyone gets murdered there. It's always nice being able to put it. Yeah, I read that. I have a Vulture Tech i3 Clear. Yeah, that's do you have one of the old ones, or did you buy it over the 2020? Because if you did, you're crazy. We need a large Delta. What's your thought on this? They have most people don't know this. The console that we sell, there's a extension mod you can actually buy from Vulture Tech. It raises it up to like a meter build height. There was one at the office. I got video of it, and it's just like this massive 3D printer. Like it's nearly 2 meters tall at the end of it. And it can print, you know, like a meter tall prints. It was crazy. Core XY. I don't like Core XY. We thought about that, but 350, 350, 550. Well, remember on a console or on a Delta printer, you can go like as high as you want when it comes to like build height. The hardest part would be build area, you know, getting a bed that's big enough, or, you know, that. I mean, really, it's just, you could use the console and just use bigger things, like use bigger 2020. Like you can easily make it bigger as long as you're able to get a bed that size. You can make it as long as you want. You can make it as, you know, as giant as you want, really. And if it's going to be massive, you can also just get 30-30, you know, 30-30 extrusions. Core XY is about speed. Core XY for me, keeping me stalked. What did Core XY do for you? Speed. Yeah, Core XY is a very interesting kinematic, like, because like it's there. You don't have like an X and a Y driver. Like they work together to move the X and the Y, which is, it's freaky when you see it, but it's actually, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's good because you can fit like a lot more movements in a smaller space, you know. I think that's why a lot of like smaller printers use it, but it's interesting. Just need a lot more pulleys and stuff. 2.5-year-old i3. Yeah, it's like as old as mine, something like that, right? I got mine in 2014, late 2014, 40, yeah, something like that. I don't know math. Before they had a before they had a 2020. Candy was a nice touch for the FT5. I'm thinking about a scratch building an scanner. Where's the best place to get black anodized 2020? I would think, what's it called? Masumi? Yeah, I think Masumi has 2020. I'm sure they have anodized. I thought Vulture Tech sells anodized 2020. Hold on. I know we have 2020. I don't know about it. Let's see. Hold on. 1 meter. Oh, yeah, we don't have it. Yeah, if you want anodized, you're going to have to go through like Masumi or something like that. They're not that expensive, but Vulture Tech has the cheapest prices on 2020. But it's just regular aluminum. So too much flex with just 2020 700 millimeter. Yeah, 700 meters. 700 millimeter. I'm assuming you mean. I can understand that. Still, what's your go-to method for sticking the first layer? I use blue painter's tape. Seriously, hold on. Where the crap is it? Oh. This stuff right here is the best blue tape I've found. This is 3M Edge Lock. Multi-surface Edge Lock blue painter's tape. I use that for PLA. I've used it for ABS. I've used it for PETG. I've used it for TPU. For ABS, if it's a bigger print, just spray a little bit of hairspray right on top of the area. But seriously, I use this tape for whatever, like this specific one, for whatever reason, works really well for a lot of things. Like you can get blue painter's tape, and it's not going to be as good as this specific one. I don't know why. It's like $8 for this big roll, and you'll not use it. You know, and the cool part is it sticks really well for the first layer, but once the bed cools down, it'll like pop right off, and you can keep reusing the tape that you're using unless it's a really, really sticky. But I use for like everything, like PETG, PLA and TPU beds at like 55 or 60 degrees. That's all I use. ABS, it's a little bit hotter. I don't print ABS all that much, so, you know. But, and then you just have to have a really good first layer height. That's the biggest thing. What I usually do, especially on the FT5, is when it's printing, I can do this on the Prusa 2020 as well. As it's printing that first layer, with experience, you'll know where the best, like what a good extrusion looks like. And if it's a little too high or a little too low, I'll literally just turn the lead screws a click or two to adjust where it is, you know, and it works fine. It works great, to be honest. It's a little bit, you know, you got to put a little bit of effort into it. But, I mean, since I have the dual end stop mod and the fine adjustment end stop mounts on the FT5, I have it absolutely perfect. So I literally just hit print and it does everything. It's perfect. Lays down nicely, doesn't peel up, doesn't do anything. It also depends on your filament too. Like the quality of the filament will change how it sticks. Like some PLAs just are shitty and they don't stick very well. So, you know. But yeah, get edge lock. I get this at Lowe's. I'm sure you can get, I'm sure Home Depot has it too, or Walmart maybe, but for whatever reason, it's this 3M edge lock blue painter's tape. For whatever reason, it works wonderfully. So, I think wider is more useful than taller. Yeah, that is true. I don't usually print a lot of tall things. Twist becomes a factor. Yeah. Big ass console conversation. I want to get the 2020 upgrade kit for the acrylic. Mine's not flexing a lot. Yeah, that's the acrylic is nice, but it's just I wouldn't. Just get a 2020. You don't have to worry about anything. Assuming it's the best way to get them because you can get them pre-cut. It's a little bit more expensive, but they'll cut it to whatever size you want. Like if you need like 751 millimeter thing, they'll cut it for you and send it to you. So it's nice. Where do you get the edge lock? Cheap, shitty one that keeps ripping on me. Lowe's. It's like $8 at Lowe's. Go to Paint. Go to find the painter's tape, and that's where I get it. I'm sure there's other brands that work fine, but for whatever reason, this is what I bought, and it works fantastically. I've used like the frog tape, the green frog tape. Apparently, that's good too. I found it sticks way too much, so you end up ripping it off when you go to peel it off, and then it's like stuck to your print. And, it sticks really well though, so if you're having adhesion issues, then I guess that'll work. What do you use for Z end step sender? Could you reformat that question? Not quite. 3 end stop. I'm assuming you mean like Z end stop sender. Reformat the question. Would you recommend the dual end stop mod over using a belt link to the two Zs? Both work. I'm lazy, and I had the parts to make the dual end stop, so that's why I did it. I didn't have a like closed loop belt, and I didn't have extra pulleys to make it, but either one will work pretty much identically. The only difference is with mine, you have to customize the firmware. I have a firmware online that you can use that's already set to work, but you know, the cool thing about it is if it does fall out, you know, it'll automatically correct it. Whereas, you know, with the belt, it shouldn't matter. But at the same time, you know, I think it's fine. The only thing I worry about with the link belt, the motors linked together, because it's two separate motors, if towards the end they do fall a little bit out because they're linked with the belt, it might throw it off or something. You know, I fear that might be an issue. Whereas this way, even if they fall slightly out of sync towards the bottom, they're not going to like fight each other. But, you know, I guess theoretically it shouldn't happen, but you know. Are you still with Lowe's? Yeah, I'm still at Lowe's. I'm off tomorrow, which is nice. I usually work Friday nights, but I'm off tomorrow, so that's good. Go find something to do or sleep, one of the two. I work this weekend, so yay for working this weekend. Let me finish something here. Sorry, responding to texts. This is just going to build up the questions, so that's why. No lows in NYC. Oh, you got one. You can ride your bike like the million miles it is to get there. Come on now. There's one. What isn't there one like way out of the city, but over there? What are some benefits of upgrading to a 32-bit board? The thing doesn't go to shit when you throw a bunch of stuff at it. For the most part, it's really not like necessary. You know. It's not like you need a 32-bit board. If you have a console, because with a Delta, it's converting Delta kinematics through math and trigonometry and converting it to G code. Like it's basically, it's sliced in a, it's weird. It does a lot more calculations. So you have to have a decent board to be able to do it. That's why, in my case, like my console, it doesn't update. It's like, how it gives you like the temp readings and all that. Or if you like hit the button, it'll go into the menu while you're printing or whatever. On my console, like you hit the button, it takes like 5 seconds for it to respond because it's doing so much processing of the rest of the print. So a 32-bit board will help in that regard. If you're doing higher micro stepping, like 132 or 164 or whatever the heck the higher ones are, it's more processing that it has to do. So if you're doing finer quality prints with higher micro stepping, then you'd want a 32-bit board. But I don't think it's really necessary. I don't use one. I don't really care. My 1/16 stepping and my, cheap 8-bit boards are fine for me. So RY and deltas because when you're printing too fast, has to do calculations faster and boards tend to slow down. Yeah, basically. It's able to do the math quicker. That's really all that it is. There's also other things you can add. Like some of those boards have like Wi-Fi and USB connection and other stuff like that. You can have like advanced controllers on it, but for the most part, it's not really needed. It's in my opinion. You work at the competition to Home Depot? Yes, I work at Lowe's. The better, Yeah, our prices might be either the same or slightly higher, but we actually have people, we actually have customer service. Going to Home Depot, it takes me 5.5 hours to stuff. They don't even, like, I went to a Home Depot and they don't even have like registers open. It's just the self-checkout and there's one guy standing there. Then you have like something happen and it's just like, oh, hold on, I'll be right there. Let me finish my beer, Whereas like Lowe's, it's like we have someone in every department. Usually, my Lowe's is retarded. We schedule like shit, so I'm usually covering every department myself. Because fuck everything. Pardon my profanity. Oh, there's people following me and stuff on Twitter. Oh my god, I haven't been on Twitter in a while. Okay, I'm done. Put the phone down. Got a print going right now on the FT5. Full tech kicking ass, except for the occasional thermal runaway. You can fix the thermal runaway in the firmware. There's like thermal runaway settings, and they're set fairly low. Like if the temperature is out of range for like 20 seconds, it'll thermal runaway error. You can raise that to like a minute or something, because usually it's able to jump back in, in the right time. So there's also a temperature like range, like it has to fall like 5 degrees out of spec, something like that. Whereas like you can change it to like 10. So even though it might vary 5 degrees, it's not going to run away. It's a safety thing. You don't want to turn it off, because I think you can turn off thermal runaway protection, but all of a sudden if your printer's trying to hit like 300 degrees, then that's probably not a good idea. So what do you use for the Z end stop inductive proximity sensor or switcher probe? I don't use any of those. I just use the Z end stops, like the regular end stops, the button ones that the FT5 comes with, or pretty much that. Like the regular ones, I just have on my FT5. I have two, one on each lead screw, and so each motor is individually controlled, so it comes up and beep beep beep, and it levels the bed perfectly. I don't even use the inductive sensor on the console anymore, because it was just a pain in the ass. I put springs on the bed and leveled it manually, and then it's perfect. So you can tweak some settings in your firmware to avoid having your thermal runaway. Go to the commercial checkout. That's what I do whenever I actually go. When I go to the Lowe's that I work at when I'm like not working, I always go to the lumber checkout because there's never anyone there, and I like all the guys in lumber, so I can like go over there and just talk with them for a little bit. So, do you have an Instagram? Yes, but it's like a personal Instagram. If you find me on there, then I'll, sure you can do it, but I don't like advertise it because it's not like I don't put like 3D prints and all that. It's just like my personal thing. It's like my Facebook, it's like my personal Facebook. Occasionally I'll add people, but most of the time if someone requests me as a friend and it's like a random person from the group or something, I don't usually add them. Nothing against anyone. It's just, it's my personal Facebook. And so, 5 phones and have 3 ringing. I understand that. Yeah. Like literally sometimes when I'm, sometimes like I'll cover, like I'll be in a department, I'll cover a department's lunch or something like that. So I'll have their phones, and then like someone didn't come in, so I'll have their phone, and all of a sudden all of them are ringing. I'm like, okay, yay. Hi, I don't work in this department, but what do you need? No, I'm not a qualified electrician. You should call an electrician. Oh, that's fine. You can call corporate because I'm not an electrician, even though you thought I was. Like, God, people are intelligent, wonderful customers. Anyway, yeah, self-checkout can be good if you have smart people using it. A lot of people that go to Home Depot are old and keep taking 10 years to process their purchase. Yeah. Well, what's weird is anytime I go to a self-checkout, I always have to have someone come over and approve it because I happen to get something that requires, you to be over 18 to buy, or, some weird thing that won't scan. So I just go through it and let them take care of it. I don't like self-checkout really. It's annoying. You don't want to turn it off. I think it checks 2 degrees for every so many seconds. Yeah. Don't turn off thermal runaway. Yeah, don't turn it off. You can, but don't. It's a bad idea. Because as soon as you do, something will happen and your house will burn down. Not. Here's something you guys probably didn't know. The melamine. Some people are like, oh, my power supply caught on fire. I could have burnt down my house. The melamine that is used on the FT5 and the cloner and all that is fire retardant. The melamine is fire retardant. We had a torch to it at the office, and it would self-extinguish. So all the electronics that are important are inside that little box back there. If anything caught on fire, it'll put it out. Boom. No more problems. The only thing that's going to burn is the crap that's inside, but it'll put itself out, pretty much. I'm not saying that like you're guaranteed not to have a house fire, but go ahead, like get a scrap piece of the melamine and like try to burn it. It's not going to catch on fire. It'll self-extinguish. It's awesome. So people who are like worried about like burning their house down because the melamine's going to wood and it's going to catch on fire, like calm your shit. It'll be fine. Why is my nose itch? My God. It's raining right now. Nice. Where am I? Got it. Will adjust if it happens again. Not sure why it keeps causing it. Running E3D Titan. Sometimes that happens with like bad PID tunes. So you might want to run like a PID auto tune, because we don't really, honestly, we don't like actually run it when the firmware that we have out there. It's like some other printer PID tune, and it works pretty well. But building the FT5, just got a replacement for the bad laser cut piece, and on the next step I find more parts that are off. It's going to take months at this pace. Hopefully it's worth it. I think it's worth it. What's funny is they had 6 or 7 laser cutters at Folger Tech, and only 3 of them were operational. Like 2 of the other ones were like broken or something. So they only had like 3 operational cutting, but it was really cool. Like, they just like put in a piece of acrylic, cut it, put it in a piece of melamine, cut it, put it in the thing, blah, blah, blah. They had a whole pallet. I think I put it on the Facebook group. They had a whole pallet of melamine, like 4x8 sheets of melamine. It was crazy. If you do anything instead of 2 degrees, maybe set it to 1 degree. I might set to like 10 or like 5 and then like set to like a minute or something. Like, I'm not, if it's going to catch on fire, let it catch on fire. Like, But that's just me. I have a fire extinguisher in here. It'll be fine. I don't run it when I'm like not home. So if something happens, I'll be here to see it. So interesting, Mark. I'm also in the middle of build and had no problem with the mummy parts. Yeah, like some people have like random like melamine doesn't work right, and then other times are like it's something weird happens. Like it'll just like some cuts are off. I mean, we had that time when a laser cutter was off on the sizing, and like parts were smaller or bigger. But for the most part, like everything usually is fine. So sometimes the cutter doesn't cut it right, but for the most part, it cuts pretty nice. So that is nuts. Yeah, the melamine layer on top, but not the core. Yeah, seriously though. Like we literally took like a lighter to the melamine, just sat there and held it on there for like 2 minutes, and it was like not burning, like none of it burnt at all. It would just put it out immediately. If you get it wet and it starts to boil, it'll burn. Yeah, but I mean, if you do it right, it's not gonna burn. You know what I mean? Add oxygen, it'll burn. Yeah, but if you add oxygen to anything, it will burn. Like you can burn water with enough oxygen. You near Tampa? I'm not near Tampa. I'm like, what, an hour and a half away? Yeah, something like that. Still don't know how to PI do autotune. Yeah, I don't either. I don't ever do it. I did it once on the Costal, I think. But are you guys still cutting for the Prusa 3 acrylic? Yeah, we get like 2 or 3 of those a week, I think. The acrylics. Literally, they don't know why. Like John said, like he purposely made the 2020 version cheaper so people wouldn't buy the acrylic, because the 2020 is way better in every way, and it's way easier to manufacture and package and everything, and it's a better printer. But yeah, we still cut them. People still buy them. We're actually working on possibly using a different material instead of acrylic, not melamine. But a completely new material that I didn't know existed, and I won't go into much detail with that because I don't know how, when that'll happen, but possibly it'll be some like new cool material. But that's in the future. I think he's in Orlando. I'm in Southwest Florida. I'm not in Orlando. Well, I'm pretty much in Orlando, but technically I don't live in Orlando. I live south of there. South of Orlando, east of Disney. That gives you an idea. West of Hullapaw. You can kind of do the math. I want to get an extra end stop for the FT5, but there are 2 choices on the site. Which one do I need? There are? I'm on the site right now. Hold on. End stop. Probably they're both the same thing, but yeah. End stop. Oh, the one, there's like the DuPont one and then the X254 spacing. Either one will work. The DuPont one is for like a ramps board. The XH2.54 is for the FT5. So if you want it to be right, get the FT5 or get that one. But technically the DuPont spacing is the same spacing, so it will work as well. The only thing is it won't be like keyed, so you can plug it in wrong and blow things up. Whereas the other one, the XH2.54, that will be the right way, so you can't plug it in wrong. But they have the same spacing, so they both will work, really. But, it's whatever. I'm tarpon fishing in St. Pete next week. Ooh, I'm jealous. I want to go tarpon fishing. I haven't been fishing in a while. Actually, my brother just got a boat. He got a John boat, a little 12-foot John boat. So we're working on restoring it. And then we'll be able to go out in the lake, go fishing. Yay! I think the recess in the FT17 where the wire release sits need to be redesigned. I had an issue this week with it. Screws started spinning before it was tight. And I pulled the screw through before trying to get it out. Which one's the FT17? It's actually funny. What was I going to say? It was like someone asked us something while I was up there in New Hampshire about like the FT whatever is not, and me and John are both like, well, which part is that? Like we actually go into the like the manual and like look up which one's which, because none of us really like, we just call it like the eye or the hatch or the the base, or the left thing, or we don't like actually call it by the names. So whenever someone asks me that, like in my emails, like the FT17 is broken, I'm like, I gotta look up which part that is. Let me look up which one's the FT17. Gantry plate. Let me still look it up anyway, so I know, because there's a million parts and I don't remember any of that crap. Like, it's funny that I'm like, support, I don't know all the parts. Like, I know what they are, but I just don't know which one specifically that one is. And even if you say gantry plate, I don't know what I call it. What is that? FT17. Oh, that one. So just the, what is that? That's the right one. Yeah, that's the left one, technically. What's wrong with it? The eyeliner needs to be redesigned. I had an issue this week. Screw started spinning before it was tight. Pulled the screw through trying to get it out. How'd you do that? Hold on. Do you have the old version that uses the idler, or do you have the one that uses the screw and the bearing? I'm assuming you need to have the new one, and we haven't really had any issues with that. Like, no one's really complained about that. I'll have to look into that. I use Repetier on my other printer. PID auto-tune. It's weird. Titanium acrylic i3. That'd be cool. Thanks. You're welcome. Have you ever used the Greg's Wade geared extruder? No, I have not. The only extruders I've used are the stock ones on all the Folgertech printers, which are like direct drive ones. Angel, the Tinkering Corner, he's used them. He'll have better input. Go gator hunting. I would, but you have to have a license, and I don't have the time or the money for that. Oh my god. Apparently their dog misses me. Oh, I miss you too. I felt bad. Like, I liked it. Their dog's awesome. I really enjoyed that dog. And now he's sad that I'm not there. The geared extruders are amazing. Okay, there you go. See, people know. I've never used them. Gantry plate, yeah. I have one in my hypercube and it's awesome. Awesome. Right side, the long one. Okay. One piece under the gantry. See? Everyone's figuring it out. You guys probably know it better than me. The new one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the hole should be the right size. I don't really know. Like, it should be the right size and go right up. And once you lock everything down, it should work. I don't know. Like I said, we haven't really had any issues with that since we redesigned it to that, and before with the old crappy style, we not really had anyone complain about it. So I don't know. If nothing else, post pictures on the Facebook group, or send me a message on the Folgertech thing, the message thing, like orders@folgertech.com, and then ask to talk to me. Send me a email, and I'll look at it whenever. I've used Greg's Wades before with Bowden on another printer. Printed well. I did get a Titan. Used the Bowden setup identical to Wade's. Titan superior. Made a video about those geared extruders back in the day. Yeah, I thought you did. Yeah. So if you want information on geared extruders, click on the Tinkering Corner, subscribe, and then find the video in there. Hey, someone tweeted me. Cool. Was it one of you guys with the FT5 printing thing? Sorry. Got to go. Welcome back, Dustin. Glad you had a safe trip. Thank you, Philip. I had a wonderful trip. It was awesome. It was great. I am glad I'm home because, like, I like being home, but I did have a good time. The area was nice enough to where if I wanted to, I could probably move up there and survive and not hate it. So, maybe I'll move up there one day and go work for them in the office permanently or something. That would be cool. Only problem is that I have to deal with snow. But then again, I think snow would be nicer than a bajillion degree weather like I'm used to right now. It was like 96 today, wasn't it? It was ridiculous. And then it's raining right now, I think, and it's crap. Crap. What time is it? It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm probably not going to stream like a long time tonight. I'll probably end it like shoot for 10:15. So we got 20 minutes. So 20 minutes to do things. So say hi, ask me questions, do stuff like that. More videos will be coming, obviously. Some of the Folger Tech stuff from while I was up there will be going up probably the next week or so. But I have a couple ideas of stuff now that actually, hey, you want to see something cool? Forgot about this. Oh, actually, I don't know where it is. Oh, it's right here. Check this out. This is a Ramps 1.5. So some people were asking, like, what's the difference between the Ramps 1.5 and the 1.4? They're the same thing. I'll show you. I'll make a video because people like videos. I just broke something. There we go. Did I just like spill things everywhere? No? Okay. Whatever. Oh, okay. This is the Ramps 1.5. See it? It looks cool. It's the same thing as the Ramps 1.4. The only difference is the parts are like better. Like the MOSFETs are better. It doesn't have poly fuses. It has a fuse. It just doesn't have the big poly fuses that are crap. So it's the same thing. There wasn't actually an official 1.5 released. This is like, some manufacturers wherever decided to make a better version. So it's not technically an official thing. Like it's not like an official Ramps 1.5. This is just like an upgraded 1.4. John said he wanted to call it a 1.4B or something like that. But really it's a 1.4 that's got better stuff, so it doesn't blow up as often. The green connector is still crap, so don't use that, but what's the biggest thing you've printed, and what's your next one? What's the biggest thing I printed? This. I don't generally print big things, so this was actually the biggest thing I've ever printed. This is like full-size hand, like it's pretty much the same size as my hand, which is saying something because I have pretty big hands. That's like the biggest thing, and the thing is that made this long is it's like 90% infill, so it's heavy. I think I talked about this before. The FT5 overview video. This is what it was printing in that video. I didn't let it finish because literally I shot that video in like an hour, and that took like 7-8 hours to print. But I don't usually print big things, so my next big print will be whatever comes up that needs to be big. I'm printing a bunch of fidget spinners right now because people are like, "Oh my god, can you make me one? Oh my god, can you make me one?" And they're just like, "Okay, yeah, sure." It takes me like an hour, and I have a bunch of bearings, so like, I'm just printing these and selling them for $5. Like, I don't know. I like them, but I don't see the appeal to buy them. But whatever, makes me money. That's fine. This will spin for like 3 minutes because I got good bearings. Got a new one on the way. Thank you, though. I might just be a bit of an anomaly then. I also did post pictures, but the comments I got on the project were not helpful. Yeah, sometimes people don't comment helpfully. Most of the time, I think our group is pretty good, but occasionally it depends like the time and who it is. Like sometimes people are just like, "You're being useless. Can you stop commenting, please?" Ever had a C-stepper motor? My extruder motor was not able to be turned by hand. I really had to pry it. I had to get a new one. In the future, if this happens, do you have any tips to unjam? Usually when that happens, there's something in the motor that's like seizing it. You might not, it's not really good to take them apart because usually it damages it when you take them apart if you're not careful. But sometimes you can take it apart and there might be a piece of metal or a piece of plastic inside the stepper motor that you can just get out and then everything will work. But otherwise, like sometimes they just seize up, for whatever reason. They get too hot and something melts or something and they just are crap. They just go to crap basically. So the best thing to do is get a new one. Luckily, they're not that expensive. So when they do go bad, you can just buy a new one. Yeah, check out his video. Pretty cool hand. I know it is a cool hand. It's the very tips are not perfect, but Da, da, da. Hold on. Hi from Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City. I've never been to Kansas City. Kansas City is nice though. From what I've heard. Isn't Joe from Kansas City? No, he moved. Forgot about that. The Midwest is nice. I don't think I want to live there just because tornadoes are just like more popular than birds there. So I have a 2020. See, the 2020 is the best. I'm planning on to add a parts fan to help with PLA bridging on the FT5. Any recommendations that would work well? On the Google Drive on the FT5 Google Drive, there's a duct there. I made it. Actually, let me see. I'm on the Google Drive right now. Yeah, there's two there. There's a final and then there's a volcano one. The volcano one's for a volcano extruder. Don't worry about that. But the FT5 duct, it's on. There's one on there. I designed it. It's not that good, but it works. I just had to throw something together, and I didn't want to make just a stupid one. But go on Thingiverse. There's a bunch of designs. There's like some of the ones that like are full circle, ones like it'll cool it all around. Those would probably work better because they're blowing from all the sides, so it'll look better. But if you just want one real quick, that one I know works. It only blows from one side though, so the other side doesn't look quite as good. So that's what I mean. Get the full blowing ones. I've never used any. I don't use cooling fans anymore, so it's necessary for bridging and for overhangs, printing fast, especially like when I'm trying to print at like 120 millimeters a second. Unless it's a really big print, it's recommended to, get a cooling fan. I'm just lazy. I don't mod my printers because I don't have the effort. I don't have the time. I'm just, I don't want to push a button on my printer to print it out and then do it. Even though I did just convert my, Okay. What was I going to say? I did just convert my FT5 over to the cable chain, the new cable chain, the removable ones, the openable ones. It's so amazing. Because like since I got the I got the FT5, then I got the CNC, whatever many months afterwards. I didn't want to have to like remove all the wiring out of the cable chain to be able to feed the CNC wires back up. So that would have been annoying. So I just literally just ran them over the printer. But now that I didn't steal, but I got a cable chain from Fulcher Tech while I was up there, and I just converted it over to the openable one, and it's so much better. I'm glad that they're including it now in the kits. Like it makes everything so much freaking easier. I'm working with a small little TFT display. Those if you look up MKS TFT 32, those like TFT, MKS TFT screens. I got some other one. It's like some like Chinese knockoff of those, and I was experimenting with that. It's actually nice. It's just I don't know if I like the interface compared to the LCD. But then again, I like simple things, so it's nice. It's touchscreen and it's 3.5 inch. It's bigger than the MKS, but the only problem is the firmware. At least the firmware that I have, you can't like modify it at all. It's just like what it is. So whereas the MKS ones, you can like go through the config files and change it. This doesn't have any config files. It's just it is what it is. So it's kind of annoying. I'm looking into figuring out how I can modify it, but cooling fans can be useful with PLA. Yes, they can. I lived around Kansas for over 6 years and haven't actually seen a tornado. A couple have come over our houses, but no damage. We don't worry about them too much. See, I just picture like everyone in Kansas like basically like gets their house destroyed at least once in their life. So I don't know. I think doesn't Florida actually have the most tornadoes per year? Because I've never seen a tornado either, but like it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was like Florida actually, or was it lightning? I don't remember. Something about Florida is like it sucks for whatever reason. I can't remember now. What do I sound like? I think doesn't Florida actually have? See, look, there's me. Oh. All right, guys, you got 10 minutes. Ask me stuff. Here, lightning round. Boom, 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 boom. Lightning round. Just start asking me random questions. Anything. I don't care what it is. I will answer it either truthfully, or I will completely lie, or I will say something sarcastic. Just those are the three options. Go. I'm just waiting for like the chat to just start going crazy. Come on, there's 19 of you. I haven't seen 19 comments yet. Come on. You could do it. I believe in you. Unless you're on mobile and like they don't let you do it on mobile. I don't know. I've never watched a live stream on mobile before, so. How hard is it to replace the extruder on 2020 with an E3D? I think you have to have like a custom mount for it. I think you go on Thingiverse and look up like Voltratech 2020 E3D. I believe there's like people have already made mounts for it. In which case, it's just print out the mount and all that. Is it worth it? Depends on who you are. I don't really see a point to it, but a lot of people are like, you have to replace the extruder because it's all. But for me, the stock one works fine. It's probably not like necessary unless you're like selling prints and you need them to look amazing. But as long as you like change out your nozzle every so often, the stock hot end is fine. So, that's just my opinion. Then again, I like things that are stock. So I'm playing with my fidget spinner. Don't judge me. Ah! Shut up. Fuck everything. I'm just going to stop playing now. Come on, guys. You can ask me things. I believe in you. Oh. Ow. What do you think about upgrading the melamine pieces to metal? If you have money to spend, go right ahead. It's not necessary. The melamine parts are fine. I think they're fine. But a lot of people are like, they want to do it. And if you want to, that's totally fine. Is it necessary? No. The only thing that I think would be better in metal is the bed thing. The melamine thing that holds the bed. Whatever part that is. That's the only thing that I think would be better in metal. Because it's so big, if it kind of bows a little bit, throws everything off, and then it sucks. But otherwise, every other part's fine. Every other part's small enough or not important enough to not matter what it does. So, it's really me. If you're going to replace anything with metal, just the base, the bed mount. That would be the only part. I'm getting great pins now, so I haven't bothered with it. Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it, because trust me on it, if you go to replace it, it'll be a hell of a thing. Nothing will work, and then everything goes to shit. So just leave it. It's fine. What is, in your opinion, the best filament? Brand, I was going to say, the best filament. Good filament. Left it too open-ended. Brand or material. My favorite filament to print is PLA, just because I don't usually need it to be crap, I don't need it to be super strong or whatever. PETG is really nice too, because it prints fairly easily and it's also super strong. So it's like ABS, but it's not ridiculous to print. So that's nice. But brand-wise, ZYL Tech, I started recently using them. They're really good. eSun, which is essentially Inland, I think. And then Hatchbox. I haven't used them in quite a little bit because they didn't have what I needed on Amazon. So if I need it really quick, if I need a certain color like tomorrow, then I'll usually get an Eson or Hatchbox because they're good quality. They're a little more expensive. They're like 20, $25 per spool. ZYL Tech has recently come into play and they're really, really good too. But they're like sold out of everything right now. I talked to Alec at some point, and he said that when they get restocked, he will talk into having a like discount code that I can offer my viewers. So if you guys want a slight discount code on ZYL Tech filament, whenever they get a new stock, you can probably get something out of that. I don't know when that'll be, so don't like hold your breath on it. But for like $11.95, their filament's really good. You know, like I've used filaments that are way more expensive that were shit. So, you know, of course, like I said, if you need it, if they have the right color, whatever, Esun and Hatchbox are good too. There's other filaments. There's a bajillion different filaments that people like, but I like cheap and good. So those are what I like. Tell us the good things about the cloner and the bad things about the FT5. Angel, look at you. The cloner is less weight than the FT5. The FT5 is considerably heavier. I believe it's about 45 pounds versus the cloner's like 15 or something, 20 pounds. The cloner is based on a MakerBot. So if someone asks you what does your printer look like, you can say it looks like a MakerBot, and they'll go, okay, I know what that looks like. The cloner was the first printer that I had that comes with a LCD, 2004 LCD stock, which is nice. You don't have to worry about it. The whole frame is melamine, which means if something catches on fire, it'll probably put itself out. It is the only printer we have with a stock dual extrusion option. There's no information in the build guide about it, so have fun with that if you get that. Sorry, I didn't have time to write that part of the guide. And no one really buys it, so. And the FT5, it's big. It's a very tedious build guide. It's a very tedious build. The linear rails are a pain to get aligned correctly. The heat bed is gigantic, so it takes forever to heat up. It's a pretty expensive table. What else? It's $500. How dare you, offer this kind of terrible build guide with this printer that cost me $500? It's like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Are you going to sell the same thing to the Ultimaker that you're paying $3,000 for? You know, you're getting the largest printer there is on the market, or one of the largest printers there are on the market for $500. Like, a printer that size didn't exist, really, like in the cheapness that it is. So, I'm rambling, aren't I? Sorry. Thanks for the 10% off now to build my 2020. I already chipped off the D3 diode, sadly. Fortunately, it's cheap. Yeah, it's easy to break things, but everything's cheap. That's what I like about these printers, is if something breaks, you can just buy it and replace it. Like, the most expensive part on any of these printers is like the control board, which is like $30. So, very hot and wet area is why I ask. Oh, okay, I got you. I was like, what do you mean about hot and wet? Oh my god, what is this stream coming to? No pun intended. That was terrible. I live in Central Florida. I mean, I have air conditioning running all the time, so it's not really humid in my room. Alexa, what's the humidity?
Currently, in Kissimmee, it's 74 degrees with showers and mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, you can look for thunderstorms with a low of 72 degrees.
She didn't tell me the humidity, though. Actually, I got a new light switch. Hold on. It's fine. I just want to know what my humidity is. Oh, God. Sensor. It's apparently 67% humidity in my room. I don't know if that's in my room or outside. I got one of those Wink light switches. John had a few up at his house, and I was like, that's really cool. And I got one real cheap on Amazon. So it's like, it's got a touch screen and all sorts of kind of stuff. And I can like control it via Alexa. So like it all communicates, and it's really cool. So I didn't think the linear guides were too bad to get right. I just kept mine loose and went back and forth a ton until adjusted it. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do, but you'd be surprised how many people have, like, they just lay them out in some arbitrary position and then crank it down and then ask why is nothing working right. And I'm just like, did you loosen it up and, like, let it adjust? It's like, what do you mean adjust? I thought it's like, it just goes together. So, Alexa told you everything before you asked. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm kind of scared now. Yeah, I mean, I have Google on my phone I could use. You know. I could just use that. Okay, Google. What is the humidity? Oh, look, I Googled Google. What is the current humidity?
The humidity in Kissimmee is 95%.
95%. Holy shit. Yeah, it's like 70% in my room. And that's like how it is all the time. And I've never had an issue with the melamine. So, I mean, there's your answer. Anyway, if you guys have any like last minute questions, ask them right now, because I'm going to kill the stream in a couple minutes. So ask anything real quick. I'm going to kill the stream. Have you tried printing with nylon? If so, what settings do you use? No, I have not, but I hear that you have to print it really hot, and it like doesn't stick to anything apparently. So yeah, sorry. Although I've seen like I have this idea. I have some weed eater string. This is like weed eater string from Lowe's. That like it's 1.65 millimeter, so it's small. It's the right size to be able to fit through the extruder. You just have to change it a little bit. So I might just try to do that. The only thing about nylon is heating nylon to as hot as you need to print releases like terrible like fumes and stuff, like really crappy fumes. So like, what is it? Carcinogens, cyanide, I think. Like, it's not good to burn. So I don't print it with it because it's this bad. So, you know, yeah. Thanks for your help. You're welcome. 95% Florida life. Yeah, Florida's where it's at. It's where it's hot all the time. Marco, you joined right at the end of the stream. Sorry. Don't know if it's already asked. Just joined. Any updates on the ETA for the CNC or laser on the FT5? The laser's not even really in development right now, as far as I know. CNC, we're waiting on feedback. There's like 10 people out there who have the CNC add-on. There's like 10 people out there who have like beta units. We're just waiting on feedback from that, and then I'll start making videos on how to build it and then how to work the software and all that. And then so it's hopefully going to be released in the next like month or two. It better, considering. But like no one's really responded yet. So like yeah, as soon as you like get it all set up and like this, that, and the other, like let us know so we'll know to be, we'll know that it's good and we can continue moving on with making them making them a production thing. But no one's like responded yet, so we're waiting on that. Otherwise, it's essentially done. So, spatters and pops the whole way. Yes. Actually, my first roll of PETG from eSun I got, and literally like, as soon as I put it in, it's just crap. So it was popping terribly. So I put it in the oven for like an hour and started printing it again, and everything works fine. So after I finish this router, I decided I'm going to build an aquaponics system for my bedroom. Why would you need that in your bedroom? After the stream, message me because I want to know what the hell you're planning. Yeah, you need a raft to print nylon. Either that, either ABS or PLA. Oh, okay. PTFE is going to catch on fire. Yeah, it might. Logitech seems to be a great company. I plan on getting FT5 as soon as I can. Thanks for the live stream. You're welcome. I'm glad. Logitech's awesome. All, 8 or 9 people of us. Like, still amazes me that they're that small. Like, I knew they were small, but I didn't even I never had like a hard count of like how many people are actually there. And it's insane. It's like 8 people, including me. It's like, holy crap. Oh, people. Open window and fan helps printing nylon. You say that now, but, I don't really want cyanide poisoning or cancer. I'm already, at high risk for that, so. Want to build the laser kit. Can't wait. Go right ahead to, mod your printer and, set up a laser on it. Because, I don't think the laser is going to be something that's going to come out soon. I mean, we're thinking about, just, literally, taping, a 2-watt laser, the little UV lasers on the end, because that'll work fine for engraving. But John also had the idea of putting, a 40-watt laser tube on the back of the FT5, but I don't think that's going to work at all. He's like, we should do this. I'm like, nah, let's not do that. That sounds like a terrible idea. It's good news. You guys should put up a pre-order for it. I would snap at it. Yeah, it's probably it'll probably go on pre-order right before it's released. Like I said, I don't know when. Even I asked John, and he's like, yeah, I don't know exactly when. So we're just waiting on people. So if you're one of those people who have it, finish it, get it built, and tell us how it's working. Marco, LOL. Cyanide will kill you faster than cancer. Yeah, but cancer will kill your family slower. It's a terrible thing to joke about, considering. You guys who don't know me personally, you don't get it, but, why would I need an aquaponics system in my bedroom? Because I want to grow strawberries with fish poop. Okay. You do that. Send me some of the strawberries when you get them done, because I want to try what a fish poop strawberry tastes like. So, Dustin is back. I'm back! Why is everyone joining right at the end of this thing? Holy crap. I'm about to end the live stream. So, you're going to have to watch the last hour and 22 minutes. So, how's the trip? What did I miss in the discussion? You missed everything. I talked about the trip. So, when I end this, go back and watch. It was the first 10, 15 minutes of the video. So yeah, just watch that, because I'm not going to go through it again. FT5 V2 coming soon. I wish. We had I think we mentioned having an even bigger printer, an FT5 but with 4 beds, something ridiculous. But that's out there. Thanks for cool info. I was one of the July batches for the FT5, and it would be cool to get it. Oh, okay, I think Cody's Lab did something like that, but damn, why in your room? What's it take to be a beta tester? You have to be picked and be lucky. Really, that's what it is. That's what happened. I think John posted on the group hey, we need 10 people to be beta testers. Just write your name and I'll pick 10 random people. And he picked 10 random people. So basically what happened. There was a few other people that we had known personally that wanted to try it out, so we let them have them too. But yeah, I bet because I'm from Washington, you assume I was going to go pot with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could, but just don't send me any of that, because that's, the mail will be pissed that I'm getting drugs in the mail. So, I mean, whatever floats your boat, man. It's fine with me, but I'm crazy enough. I don't need any drugs to hinder my intelligence. Not that pot's bad. I support marijuana, but I myself don't do it because that would be ridiculous. Cody's Lab did do that. Angel, do an even bigger one, 15 by 15. Yeah, we were thinking I had an idea for a modular printer, you can change how big it was, but that seems kind of So I'll go to the 3D printers above that laser cutter. You know what would be really cool? A CNC. Huh. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream now. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you, everyone, for enjoying this wonderful video. If you were just now joining or joined recently, give this like an hour, or if you want to watch the stream right now, like pause it and then let's like drag the thing back to the beginning and you can watch the whole thing. Just don't like exit out, because once you exit out and I end the stream, you can't go back to it. Otherwise, just like wait like an hour or whatever it is, and YouTube will put it back up, processed and all that. So if you want to watch it right now, just pause it, drag the little, scroller thingy to the beginning, and you can rewatch it. So, yeah, otherwise, wait till the replay comes up. I'm going to end this now, so pretty sure I'm like one of the few people who aren't interested in doing bot here. I wouldn't send you any because wouldn't want to anger your other dealer. I'm sure you wouldn't care. So paused. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now. So adios, everyone. I will probably do this again next week, assuming everything goes to plan. So thanks, everyone. Bye.